Welcome crafters and sewers. Thank you for clicking on this video. I'll show you how to make this top that I'm wearing. It's a nice little hoodie. It has a big pocket and it's supposed to be a dress, but I wanted it to be just a long top that I wear with skinny jeans or leggings. So let's get right into it. So we're going to go over a quick rundown of how to read patterns. Today we're going to use pattern 8790A of Simplicity. So I'm going to do pattern C, which is a dress, but since I'm kind of tall, it's not going to be a dress on me, and that's the plan. I wanted it to be a shirt anyway. Before you start with anything on the pattern, you read the back. So here, you can read it. It says which fabrics you use. Says for stretch knits only. Most of the time when it says that you need to use stretch knits, those are the only ones that you can use. So you're going to take your measurements here. It tells you where the measurements fall. Now I usually would wear a small, but I took my measurements and I fall between the small and the medium. So basically if I get bloated or something, I'm going to be a medium. So I'm making a medium, and this doesn't really have to fit tightly anyway. These are how the backs of everything looks, which is usually what they put on the back of the patterns. I like the back of this, I like the front of it. It's great for me. So whichever outfit or garment you're going to make, you go here, 60-inch width fabric, and it says with or without nap at the bottom. That's what these stars mean next to it, and depending on the size, that's how much fabric you get. So mine is 2 1/8 yard. I think I have 2.5, so I have more than enough for dress C, which is the item that I'm making. These are going to be the finished garment lengths and measurements. So one thing is that the dress, if I was going to leave it as a dress and I want to wear it as a dress, then I have to make sure that these length measurements right here from the base of the neck to the end of the back of it need to be long enough for me. If it's not long enough, usually tops and even bottoms, they have an area where you can lengthen it, and what you'll see in the actual pattern is there is a line. There are lines on the sleeves and on the actual body pieces where you can lengthen it if you decide to lengthen it, or shorten it if you need to shorten it. So these are all the pieces cut out. You know, the pattern tells you which pieces to cut out for which, and each of the pattern pieces will have the letter of the garment that you want to make on it, just so you 100% sure. What I did was I took tissue paper and I laid it on top of the actual pattern pieces and I traced them out. I do this because just in case I want to go up or down a size, I already have it done, and then I just trace it onto this tissue paper. And I also, since when I use them, I don't use pattern weights, I pin them. So I want these patterns to last a long time. I already want to make another garment from here, and I don't want to mess up the pattern. So like I said earlier, the sleeves and the garment pieces have, I don't know if you can see them, they have these marks right here. This is for if you want to lengthen or shorten them. It is just much easier if you just lengthen them there. And this is the front and back piece. If I wanted to lengthen these, this is where I would do it. And of course, if you're going to lengthen one piece, the front, then you're going to have to lengthen the back at the same amount. Ignore these. I put oil in my hair and I scratched my head. This was the last piece I traced, and I put oil in my hair and I scratched my head and touched the pattern, and it just went through, and it's like whatever. That's why I traced these patterns out. After cleaning your workspace, you're going to fold the fabric according to how the pattern says. So here you can see that I read the pattern and realized that I was supposed to fold the middle pieces towards the center so that the front and back pieces can both fit on the fold while saving the most fabric. To begin sewing, we're going to straight stitch this edge where I'm indicating here. This creates a pretty outside edge for the pockets. After folding over the pocket pieces and top stitching, we're going to put the back pocket piece right side of the pocket piece facing the wrong side of the front piece. Line the notches together, I pin them in place, and then I mark them with chalk even though the directions say to base stitch. Here I straight stitch along these chalk markings, and I don't know if you can tell in this video or this part, but my machine starts acting up, and this takes days off the time to finish the project. Hi everybody, thank you for watching my video. Thank you for watching this far. I wanted to be real with everyone, and that's why I'm like appearing right now. My sewing machine it kept jamming. It keeps jamming, And this project is supposed to be super easy. The directions are very, very clear. This is very clear cut, mostly straight lines and just like nice soft curves. Nothing too difficult. And I'm on my 3rd day in a project that was supposed to probably take a couple hours, like not even 4 hours from the time that I cut the fabric or cut the pattern to completion is not even like 4 or 5 hours. And for some reason I'm about to go on my 3rd day. One is because I have to go to work, another is because I have schoolwork and stuff to do, but the main reason is my sewing machine keeps jamming, so I keep doing other things. I was supposed to just get this done, recorded, and go off to do the other things. So I have been watching a lot of videos about what could be the problem for my machine jamming, but I thought it was a tension problem and it's not. And so I looked at the manual. I had to look up the manual online, and I found out that the bobbin size is, I've been using the wrong bobbin size the whole time I've had my machine. I think it came with one bobbin. I don't know where that bobbin is, but maybe it's the one I have. I have one bobbin that's the right size to go with my machine, and maybe that's the one that came with my machine, but I don't remember. So I'm going to try to use that, and I'm going to try to change out the needle, and hopefully that works. Because before I start a new project, I take scraps of the material I'm going to work with and do a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch and practice on that to make sure I have tension and everything right before I start working on the actual project. I keep doing that and I'm fine on my scrap fabric. I go to the main project and it keeps bunching up. And with this being a knit fabric, it's really, really difficult to remove the stitches. And I get really scared that I'm going to remove a stitch of the actual row of the knit part. So hopefully this works. If anyone else has any ideas on how to help me so I can avoid this problem in the future, if this does somehow work this time but something else may be causing my machine to jam, please let me know. Okay everyone, so I bought some things that will help me out. I don't have a singer, I have a brother, but it's whatever. This is a brush, which I'm going to clean out my machine, which I haven't cleaned out the whole thing, like unscrewed and cleaned it out ever. I've cleaned like the bobbin case area, but not for real the rest. I bought more bobbins because the one that I have that's the proper size, which is just like this, is pretty full of thread, and I don't want to have to like undo it and redo it or whatever. So I just bought some new ones that are the proper size, and I bought some ballpoint needles, which are for stretch fabric and knit fabric, which is this one. I don't have a problem with the stitches skipping, but it's fine. I'm just going to use this one. I'm also going to oil my machine, and one thing it says when oiling on my manual is to oil it and then run it without thread. And I'm going to probably take off the needle and run it without thread for high speed for a couple minutes or a couple seconds to get that, basically to get the oil into the machine. So I'm going to oil my machine again and see if that works. It worked. Oh my gosh, I was so happy. Please read your manuals, everyone. So I pinned the sleeves to the front and back pieces, did a straight stitch, and did my method of finishing off the seams. I straight stitched the back of the hood. Now here I am pinning in place the hem for the hood all the way around. Here I am lining up the hood with the garment piece, and we're going to straight stitch and then zigzag stitch to finish it off. If you have a serger, I highly suggest serging this area. And then right here I'm pinning the seams of the sides and the sleeves, and then we're going to pin all the way down the sleeve and all the way down the side, closing off the garment. Last thing you need to do is hem the bottom and hem the sleeves, and then you're finished. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Besides my machine messing up, I really did enjoy making this. This was my first time using a pattern in over 10 years. So it looks like I still can handle an easy pattern. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, follow my blog, like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And I please hope all of you will be safe out there and continue crafting and continue being creative. Thank you.